Hi, everybody. Hello to our placement partner community. My name is Kelly, and I'm a member of our marketing team at Placement Partner. And it brings me immense pleasure today to introduce a slightly different kind of interview than what you've seen from us before. Recently, one of our very valued clients gave us some amazing feedback on the support initiative that we've been driving since the beginning of this crazy time. And we thought we'd invite her for a chat today just to tell us a little bit about her journey through these turbulent times. So without further ado, it brings me a lot of pleasure to introduce Laura Dodd. Hi, Laura.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Kelly.
So Laura is the General Manager of Accountancy Placements in Pietermaritzburg. She started her recruitment career back in 2013 with a sports and gaming recruitment agency in Wimbledon, London. Very cool. A year later, Laura was then promoted to the position of Key Account Manager, and she also had the opportunity to grow her own team out there. In 2016, she decided to head back to Pietermaritzburg, where she took on her current role with Accountancy Placements. Accountancy Placements happens to be a business that's been around for 36 years. That is really impressive. And for the last 4 years, Laura's really been focusing on building a strong team of recruiters who are really passionate about service excellence. And they've established a great footprint in the KZN region as well. So thanks, Laura. Really, that's quite an impressive resume you've got going there.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a really amazing recruitment journey, and I think learning from international recruitment and then coming to a pandemic where everything has to be online, I think it was a very fortunate start.
Right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can imagine. So let's dive right in. Tell me, what was the initial impact of this whole lockdown, this whole pandemic? What was the initial impact on you, both personally and professionally?
Okay, so interestingly, our recruitment agency was hit right in the middle of it, because one of our candidates was one of the first people to be diagnosed with COVID-19 in South Africa. So I don't know if that's a good notch on our belt or not, but when we heard the news that he was being diagnosed, we were all in shock and horror, because I think everybody thought that this would never come to South Africa, because nothing ever comes to South Africa.
So true.
So it was quite terrifying in the beginning, but from a personal perspective, I love my home. I live in a very beautiful home, and I love my animals. I have a very happy family life, and I'm very accustomed to working from home. So when they said you could work from home, I thought, well, great, that's superb. And I think the fear was always there, because nobody really knew what was going to happen. And I have a horse, which is quite a big luxury, I don't want to call him an item, but I have a very expensive pet. And when they said, well, you can't go anywhere and you can't do anything, that was quite traumatic, but we made the best of the worst situation. And I am generally quite a positive person. If somebody tells me not to smile, it's like saying don't breathe. It's just always on my face, and I can't do anything about it. Even when I'm crying, I'm smiling. So but from a professional aspect, I think the saddest thing was, I'm sure that a lot of people will agree that 2020 started off really, really well. And a lot of businesses came into this year thinking, this is going to be our year, and we're going to give it absolutely everything. We're going to take risks. We're going to hire good teams. And we saw a massive increase in recruitment in January, February. And I think at any given time, we had about 30, 35 vacancies on our board.
Wow.
So we made the decision to hire an additional consultant just to help us with our admin. And yeah, it was almost like watching a horror film, because we had CVs out, we had candidates that had been for interviews, we had candidates that had been offered positions, and all of a sudden people were phoning us and saying, thank you so much, but we're going to put our recruitment on hold until August, we're going to put our recruitment on hold until September. And I was mortified for my team, because everyone had put in so much work, and all of a sudden there was just this like dark hole that nobody could see out of. And we were trying to keep our candidates motivated and trying to keep them positive. And I think as a recruiter, that's what we do. People tell us that they've been retrenched, and we are the ones that need to hold their hands through the journey. Right. And we didn't know what that journey was going to look like. But from a professional aspect, I have a phenomenal team. We're a small team. We're only 4 consultants, and more than ever, we were in the trenches together. And all of a sudden, any personal niggles vanished. Everyone was online at the same time in the morning, being positive and just trying to make as much of what it was that we could. But yeah, seems like we've come out okay. Everyone still has their jobs, which I'm very proud of, and everyone still got paid their salaries the whole way through. So, and our office is still there. So yeah, we're getting through it okay. Yeah.
Right. So a genuine recruitment success story through this whole thing. And I think it's so interesting how you say, that this time has been quite amazing for actually pulling people together and helping them to focus on the positives. And I think that's quite a lot of what our initiative has been around as well. So it's just beautiful for me to see that that really is the true nature of this recruitment industry and our community at large. It's really awesome. So tell me, what do you think the effect, or in your experience, what effect did the Placement Partner Support Initiative have on your team and your business?
So I think if you told a group of recruiters maybe in January, February 2020 that they were all going to be put in the same room together, and they were given some topics to brainstorm, you would have been laughed out of the building, because I think recruiters are notoriously not very, very good at communicating with each other at the best of times.
Right.
But I think from Placement Partners' side, it was almost as though you guys predicted exactly how long you needed to be by our sides, for all of the content that was given to us was so heartwarming and positive. And I think everyone was kind of just put in the same boat all of a sudden. And I mean, to have 75 recruiters in the same space, really brainstorming topics and going, right, what are you doing differently? Because, maybe I should try that. And the collaboration that came afterwards. I mean, I've built some really good relationships with some recruiters that I would have never have met before, and we're working on vacancies together, which is just phenomenal. But I just think, Shirley is just one of the most positive, uplifting people, and just her saying to you once a week, you guys have got this, and you're going to get through this, and this is how you're going to get through it, and stay positive. And Lizanne, with her infectious laughter, just talking us through and saying, I'm here for training. Let me show you how to use Placement Partner better. The whole team were just absolutely phenomenal. So our team are very grateful.
That's so fantastic to hear. I think it's really, it's so incredible getting that feedback as a member of the team, especially because it's not often, I mean, like you said, we were all in this crazy unknown situation. Nobody knew what was happening. We were really just kind of digging deep and thinking, what do we guess our clients need during this time? What is the best that we can offer them at this time? And to know that we hit the mark is really, really special. So thank you.
Yeah, you really did. And just little things like making sure that teams were, being unified and doing team building exercises and looking at the hierarchy of needs, and just good content and just fantastic stuff that just kept us going, which was awesome.
Great. So great to hear. That's really awesome feedback. And tell me, at large, I mean, you are, but definitely those are some serious accomplishments that you've achieved, to not have let go of any of your staff. You've kept salaries going. You've held on to your property. So, I mean, I think we can all agree that yours is definitely a recruitment success story. So from your side, do you have any advice that you'd like to share with your fellow recruiters out there, especially now that we are in the age of collaboration?
Yes, yeah. So I'm making it sound like plain sailing. There were moments that I literally lay on the floor and thought, "Well, this is it. we're gonna be done for." But yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice to recruiters I mean, worldwide now is, you know, positions are starting to become available again. People are starting to grow confidence in recruiting new staff. And I think the most important thing is just for recruiters just to maintain their very, very high ethical standards and just to follow those very important code of ethics that we should all be abiding by at all times. I think a lot of companies didn't really know how to handle the lockdown well, and you know, some people got calls to say, well, I'm sorry, but you don't have a job anymore, without any consultation. They had no work, no pay, with, you know, imagine getting that call just to say, I'm really sorry, but you know, the 16 years that you've worked for us, well, you don't work for us anymore. So I think our, yeah, and I think candidates especially, just they've lost that trust aspect with people, because the people that they've worked for have let them down. So I think as recruiters, we have to make sure that we don't lose the excitement of recruitment now. Instead of phoning people and saying, look, I have a vacancy, can I put you forward? Trust your candidates enough to tell them who the business is, so that they can go and research and chat to their families and say, wow, do you think I'd be suitable for this business? It is going to be a very competitive space out there, but it's not a race. And I think just putting candidates forward for the sake of a fee because our businesses have had a knock would be the absolute worst thing that any recruiter can do in this time. A lot of recruiters and recruitment, well, the recruitment industry has a very bad name for exactly that. For, you know, I mean, I tell people that I'm a recruiter and they go, oh, shame. But I think it's important for us to, you know, just how we've gone through the placement partner training, all, you know, if it was close to 100 consultants, making sure that we were keeping up our industry and making sure our industry survives. I think it's important for us to make sure that our industry maintains a good ethical standard from now on and moving forward.
100%. Yeah, I agree so much. And I think it's really, it just makes logical sense in my opinion. Like, it's the only sustainable way to keep our industry going is to actually, you know, have the right values backing everything that we do. So yeah, fantastic advice there. Thank you so much, Laura. And yeah, thank you for your time, your continued support. It's really amazing being part of this community and working with people like you every single day. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Kelly. It's been very great.
Thanks, Laura. We'll chat soon. Bye.